A very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. I am AROSHAN Indujiva Sri Rajakulendra, and my co-author is Dr. AJITH MEDIS, who is my research supervisor as well at the University of KELANIYA. The title of my research is Psychological Distance and Online Purchasing Intention Towards Big Ticket Electronics, a mediating effect of trust formulation and moderating effect of perceived risk. Esteemed members of the channel, esteemed members of the panel, this research becomes very unique and important due to two main factors. The first is that it is the first attempt of its kind in Sri Lanka to investigate a novel concept which is called psychological distance, in light of explaining the Sri Lankan online consumer behavior with a significant contribution to theory and practice. And the second factor being in light of the current pandemic situation, curbing all non-essential travel, this study may revolutionize the way of thinking of pure play e-tailers to aggressively compete in a previously challenged market. Moving on to the definitions of the key terms, psychological distance is defined by Trope and Lieberman as the cognitive separation between self and other instances such as persons, events, or times. Online purchasing intention is defined by AJITH as the threshold at which the customer is encouraged or rather inclined to procure a certain product or a service from a specific retailer. Online trust is defined by Morgan and Hunt as a willingness to rely on an exchange partner's reliability and integrity and the belief that the actions of the trusted party will rely on positive outcomes. Perceived risk is defined as the potential source of resistance to innovation from unexperienced customers, as per RAM. And big ticket electronics is defined as household electronic appliances which exceeds the value of LKR 30,000. Moving on to the research gap, the theoretical gap. Three theories have been used in this research, but to partially explain the research phenomenon, namely the construal level theory, the relationship marketing theory, the hedonic motivation theory, and also the modified unified technological acceptance model 3 for e-commerce. However, the researcher noted that there is no unified theory or a model to support the research phenomenon. In terms of the literature gap, multiple literature is available to indicate possible relationships among the factors in play, but there's a lack of direct supporting literature to support the respective research phenomenon. Practice gap being the researcher has first-hand observed a significant practice gap in the Sri Lankan market context, where at the point where multiple pure play e-tailers who have adopted a physical presence, the lead to sale conversion ratio has been multiplied by more than threefold, signifying a significant switch in consumer buying behavior for big ticket electronics. Coining the research problem is centered towards assessing the impact of psychological distance on online purchasing intention towards big ticket electronics through the trust formulation among Sri Lankan consumers with the moderating effect of perceived risks. In this research, 5 research questions have been established. The first one being to establish whether and to what degree the psychological distance of customers has an impact towards e-tailers who are serving big ticket electronics. Second question, to examine the present degree of online purchasing intention towards big ticket electronics among Sri Lankan consumers. Third question being to analyze the relative impact of key dimensions of psychological distance on online purchasing intention towards big ticket electronics. Fourth one being to analyze the mediating effect of online trust formulation of customers in the relationship between psychological distance and online purchasing intention. And the fifth being to assess the moderating impact of perceived risk on the relationship between psychological distance and online purchasing intention towards big ticket electronics in Sri Lanka. The research paradigm could be described as having a positivism epistemological stance and a realism ontological stance. The population considered will be the Sri Lankan households which exceed an average income of LKR 100,000, having access to a postpaid mobile broadband connection with the intention of procuring a big ticket household electronic item in the near future online. The total sample size of households is out of a population of 38,516 dispersed among the island. The corresponding sample size is taken at 380. The survey has been conducted on a researcher-assisted questionnaires. The finalized accepted number of sample respondents were 305. The data analysis was executed on PLS SEM assisted by Smart PLS, and the researcher notes that all propositions have been accepted as per the results of the survey. Thank you very much.